pass, which means that anybody that is not an officer above may come up to the podium. La Yasha Allah, which means to Israel. Amajum, which means to stand. Wapanya Haki Dum means to turn and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawur, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Kol, Yawam, Wasalachanawa, Kwabawatnawa, Kasalachnawa, Kwabawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Bonasaya 1, a bull, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapar, La'alamyum, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Bavakashah, Nathananawa, Hakak, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakim, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rakawath, Hatama Allah, Lagarshan, Bashim Yahushai, the Wada Aman. Prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh, wa Yahushai, Wam Yaka'ala, wa Ahayim, Matazadya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapyam, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwadazayanyam, Ha Klayayam, wa Ha Kwathyam, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, the Wada Aman. Blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharium, Ma'ayan, Yawa'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aishah, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragolka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh Shemarka, Yahweh Tazolka, Al Yad, Yumyaka, Yawamum, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bal Ya'ala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makol, Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Wabuaka, Ma'aita, Wa'aid, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al Damayah, Lakah, Al Faharash, Wa'al, Lashakwat, Al Kaya, Hana, Awayabyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Ya'ara Yamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Saki, Lakawa, Wanakidam, Mongolia, Wala'a, Yazakor, Sham, Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Aholia, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alayom, Wa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabor, Wa'imawan, Wa'imalak, Palashath, Aim, Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gam, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zorawai, Labanya, Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasa Yasara, Kayabian, Banakaol, Kayashawan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Shaitamwa, Nara, Yab Mawa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakazazol, Manai, Kol, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ah, Naawath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shaitamwa, Kagogola, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Daba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Dardatma, Basa'irika, Wabasa, Wapathka, Dabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakashwa, Shemka, Ya'awa, Yabashwa, Wayaba'awa, Idya, I, Wayakaparawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shemka, Ya'awa, Labarka, Al Yawan, Al, Call, Ha'arataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Zeba, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High power in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, always, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Shabia, which means to be seated. We're going to be in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, slacking, verse 48. We're going to be starting in the Hebrew Blue Letter Bible. Or if you have a Hebrew Bible, you can use that as well. All right. So the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, and verse 48 in the Hebrew. Washabawa, Alayak, Babal, Lababum, Wababal, Napasham, Baarataza, Abayaham, Ashar, Shabawa, Atham, Wa Hapathlowa, Alayak, Darak, Arakazam, Ashar, Nathatha, La Abawatham, Ha'ayar, Ashar, Bakharath, Wa Habayath, Ashar, Banayath, Banayathya, Lashamak, verse 49. Wa Shamaith, Ha Shamayum, Makawak, Makawan, Shabbathak, Ath, Thapalatham, Wa'ath, Thakanatham, Wa'aishayath, Mashapatyam, verse 50. Wa Salakath, La'aimak, Ashar, Kata'awu, Lak, Walakol, Pasha'ayaham, Ashar, Pasha'aywa, Bak, Wanathatham, Lapanya, Shabayaham, Wa Rakamawam, 51. Kaya, Imak, Wanak Lathak, Ham, Ashar, Hawatazath, Mamatazarium, Mathawak, Kawar, Habartal, verse 52. La Hayawath, Ayanyak, Pathakwath, all. Thaknath, Ibadka were all. Thakanath, Imak, Yasha'ala, Lashamai, Al Yaham, Bakal, Kwaram, Alayak. Verse 53. Kaya, Atha, Habadalatham, Lak, Lanakla, Makal, Imya, Harataza, Kashar, the Bara, Bayad, Masha, Ibadak, Ba Watazayaka, Sakya, Ba Watazayak, Ah, Abathyanwa, Ma Matazarium, Adanya, Yahweh, Pa. 54. Wayahaya, Kakalwath, Shalama, La Hathapalal, All, Yahweh, Ath, Call, Hathapala, Wahathakna, Hazaath, Quam, Malapanya, Mazabak, Yahweh, Makarai, Al, Barab Yahweh, Wa Kapayawa, Parashawath, Ha Shamayum. I caught that up. All right. The book of First Kings, chapter 8, verse 48 in the English. And so return unto thee with all thy heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. 49. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. 50. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions, wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, and they may have compassion on them. 51. For they be thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron. 52. That that thine eyes may be open unto the supplication of thy servant, and unto the supplication of thy people Israel, to hearken unto them and all that they call for unto thee. 53. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth to be thine inheritance, as thou spakest by the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou broughtest our fathers out of Egypt, O Lord God. 54. And it was so that when Solomon had made an end of praying all this prayer and supplication unto the Lord, he arose from before the altar of the Lord, from kneeling on his knees, with his hands spread up to heaven. 55. And he stood and blessed all the congregation of Israel with a loud voice, saying, 56. Blessed be the Lord that hath given rest unto his people Israel, according to all that he promised. There hath not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Moses his servant. 57. The Lord our God be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us nor forsake us. And this is exactly how it's going to be for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians when we truly turn back to Christ and we establish the kingdom of heaven in this earth and build New Jerusalem as our capital for our kingdom that is to rule in righteousness under Christ. Like, we're going to have all of the blessings that the Lord had promised to our forefathers, had promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, had promised to Moses, who led us out of Egypt under the authority of the Most High Power. And when the Lord is with us, and when he gives us all these blessings, there will no longer be any nation that can overcome us, that will be able to, govern how it is like what goes on in our communities, what goes on in our nation. Like today, we're able to be controlled by the other nations. The U.S. can go and tell the countries in South America what it is that they can and can't do. They can tell them to strengthen, their military might on the borders to prevent immigrants. You can have Russia can go to the islands and tell brothers and sisters that if they follow them and if they conduct themselves how the Russians say to, then they'll be able to, become mighty like the Russian Empire and be able to overcome America and all the oppression that's ever been done to them by any nation that's tried to colonize them. They can go and do them things now because the Lord is not with us as a people, because we've broken his commandments, because we refuse to follow the men of the Lord, which is in here in the Isupk. But when we choose to turn back to the Lord, we choose to submit ourselves unto the prophets of God, then Christ our King will return and deliver us from this hell that we've been living in. Verse 56, blessed be the Lord that hath given rest unto his people, Israel. And that's exactly what we will receive. Like, we're going to receive finally some rest in this earth. Like, brothers and sisters in South America, you don't have to worry about trying to flee from your lands that have been destabilized by the countries to the north of you, that have been destabilized by America and Canada. You won't have to sit there and wonder if a cartel is going to kick in your doors and chop you up because they believe you've done something wrong. You won't have to carry your children across your back swimming across a river to get to a country that is just going to oppress you and drown in the process. You won't have to worry about these things anymore. You will receive some rest, some peace in this earth, according to all that he promised. There hath not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Moses his servant. 57. The Lord our God be with us, as he was with our fathers. Let him not leave us, nor forsake us. And the Lord has forsaken the 12 tribes of Israel. He's not with us today because we choose not to be with him. We choose not to follow him. We choose not to honor the sacrifices that our King Christ or Yahushua made for us. The sacrifice of him going through all that torment under the hands of the vile Romans, or the kingdom, or one of the kingdoms of Esau, the nation of Edom. We don't honor the sacrifice of him giving his life for us as a people. Instead, we would much rather go into the earth and sin and follow the false prophets that have spread the lies of the Bible to us, passed down through the generations. It's been passed down from our oppressor, the nation of Edom. 58. That he may incline, that he may incline our hearts unto him, to walk in all his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, which he commanded our fathers. 59. And let these my words, wherewith I have made supplication before the Lord, be nigh unto the Lord our God day and night, that he maintain the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Israel at all times, as the matter shall require. 60. That all the people of the earth may know that the Lord is God, and that there is none else. And that's what the nations are coming to find out. When the Lord released COVID-19 and has released the spirit of war into this earth, the nations understand that their gods can do nothing for them. They see that no matter how many prayers and sacrifices they make to their idols, there's only one true power in this earth, and he is for the 12 lost tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's why they were throwing their gods into the rivers when COVID-19 happened. Rivers were littered with all of the idols, littered with elephants and snakes and birds and gods that have many breasts and many arms, many heads. All these gods that the nations have looked up to and thanked for their empires, they found out that they are nothing. 61. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord our God, to walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments, as at this day. 62. And the king and all Israel with him offered sacrifice before the Lord. 63. And Solomon offered a sacrifice of peace offerings, which he offered unto the Lord, 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep. So the king and all the children of Israel dedicated the house of the Lord. 64. The same day did the king hollow the middle of the court that was before the house of the Lord. For there he offered burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of the peace offerings, because the brazen altar that was before the Lord was too little to receive the burnt offerings and meat offerings and the fat of the peace offerings. 65. And at that time Solomon held a feast, and all Israel with him, a great congregation from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Egypt, before the Lord our God, 7 days and 7 days, even 14 days.
66. On the 8th day, he sent the people away, and they blessed the king, and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart for all the goodness that the Lord had done for David his servant, and for Israel his people. 1 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do. Verse 2. That the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon. Verse 3. And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house which thou hast built, to put my name there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. Verse 4. And if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and will keep my statutes and my judgments. 5. Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, There shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. Verse 6. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them. 7. Then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name, will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. And this is exactly what has happened to the 12 tribes of Israel. We became a proverb and a byword to all the nations. We've been cast out of our homeland, our inheritance. And that's because the Lord told us that these things would happen. Like if King Solomon chose to go and serve other gods, which he did because he started marrying heathen women. He started to go and marry the daughters of Edom and of Moab and Ammon and Ishmael and Ham and all the other nations that's in this earth. He went and married them, and they convinced him to go and serve their gods. And because of this, because we've turned from the Lord, now we are known nothing more than a bunch of niggas and savages and wetbacks, a bunch of gangsters and cartel members who just want to destroy the society that America has worked so hard for to build. We've been labeled as being lazy and just no good, happen to mooch off of the government and the hardworking people of America. That's what we are known as today, when in reality we are the Lord's chosen people. Like we are those that the Lord has loved more than any nation, those that was chosen by the Lord. Slaki, I'm going to correct that. Those that was chosen by the Lord to be loved above all nations. Like there is no other nation out here that compares to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. No nation out here that has received the love of the Lord like the 12 tribes of Israel, that was received the blessings and the covenant that was passed down from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No other nation has known the laws, statutes, and commandments in this book right here. No other nation, only our people. But because we have turned on the Lord and he has forsaken us, these nations can paint us to be whatever they desire. When you come into the ISUPK, you're going to truly see who it is that you are. You're going to be able to look at your people and be proud of them, because you know that they are a people greater than what the nation of Edom has molded them into being. Verse 8. And at this house, which is high, every one that passeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath the Lord done thus unto this land and to this house? 9. And they shall answer, because they forsook the Lord their God, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them, and served them. Therefore hath the Lord brought upon them all this evil. And you can see the evil that the Lord has done to us. You can see that in all of our, whether you're in South America or in the islands, you can see it in our nations. You can see it in our communities and our families. You can see how the Lord has brought the curses from the book of Deuteronomy upon us for not serving him, for going to serve these other gods. 10. And it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built the house, when Solomon had built the two houses, the house of the Lord and the king's house. 11. Now Hiram, the king of Tyre, had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees, and with gold, according to all his desire. That then King Solomon gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. 12. And Hiram came out from Tyre to see the cities which Solomon had given him, and they pleased him not. 13. And he said, what cities are these which thou hast given me, my brother? And he called them the land of Kabul unto this day. 14. And Hiram sent to the king 60 talents of gold. 15. And this is the reason of the levy which King Solomon raised, for to build the house of the Lord, and his own house, and Milo, and the wall of Jerusalem, and Hazor, and Megiddo, and Gezer. 16. For Pharaoh king of Egypt had gone up, and taken Gezer, and burnt it with fire, and slain the Canaanites that dwelt in the city, and given it for a present unto his daughter, Solomon's wife. 17. And Solomon built Gezer and Beth Horon the nether. 18. And Baalath and Tadmor in the wilderness in the land. 19. And all the cities of store that Solomon had, and cities for his chariots, and cities for his horsemen, and that which Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon, and in all the land of his dominion. 20. And all the people that were left of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which were not of the children of Israel. 21. Their children that were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel also were not able utterly to destroy. Upon those did Solomon levy a tribute of bond service unto this day. 22. But of the children of Israel did Solomon make no bondmen, but they were men of war, and his servants, and his princes, and his captains, and rulers of his chariots, and his horsemen. 23. These were the chief of the officers that were over Solomon's work, 550, which bear rule over the people that brought in the work. 24. But Pharaoh's daughter came up out of the city of David onto her house, which Solomon had built for her. Then did he build Milo. 25. And 3 times in a year did Solomon offer burnt offerings and peace offerings upon the altar which he built unto the Lord. And he burnt incense upon the altar that was before the Lord. So he finished the house. 26. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Eziongeber, which is beside Elath, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom. 27. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants. It's like it. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon. 28. And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents, and brought it to King Solomon. 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. And like that's exactly what the queen of Sheba had gone there for. Just like it said, like she didn't go there to have no secret baby with King Solomon that would come to have the inheritance of the kingdom of Israel, like many fake Israelites love to say, because they don't know these scriptures here. Like nations would go to King Solomon to seek counsel on how they should do things in their empire, of how they should be running things. Maybe because you suffer from such sexual deviance and might be just so caught up in your fantasies of sex that you just believe that anytime a person of power or a man and a woman that come together, they just have to lay together. Like you don't say the same thing when the rulers of this earth get together now. You don't say that for their G9 summits, and when the UN comes together, you don't sit there and say, well, they have massive orgies and are just enjoying one another's body as they see fit. You only do this with the men in these scriptures here. You only want to make the men in these scriptures sexual deviants or sexualize them because you've been taught this Bible from the church, who knows nothing but sexual deviance, who knows nothing but to be an abomination unto the Lord. And because you get your understanding from them, it just has to be true about the righteous men in these scriptures, even if they do at one point stray from what it is they're supposed to be doing. Like King Solomon, he strayed by going and marrying heathen women and serving their gods. But that doesn't mean that everything that these men do is wrong. You understand? Like just like Samson, he strayed by desiring heathen women. But at the end of the day, the Lord still used him to bring down the Philistines. They're saying what Slakia. Verse 2. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices, and very much gold, and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And she came to bring tribute to King Solomon. Came to bring him the spices and the jewels, the diamonds and the sapphires and the rubies and whatever gems that might not even be known of today by common people. She came to bring him the gold and all the riches of her empire because she was going to him for counsel. You got to give the man his payment for helping you with your nation, helping you build your empire. And this is exactly how these nations are going to be in the earth when our king returns and we take rulership. Like they're going to be bringing us tribute and coming to us for counsel, asking us how things are to be done. Even if they don't come to us to ask us how things are going to be done, we're going to tell them how things are to be done, and they will do it. They will do it, or they will be whipped or beheaded, be stoned or be burned, whatever the punishment that fits their crime. Like that's how things are going to be done. Everything is going to be through the children of Israel. All of the lands in this earth are going to be governed by us. The decisions that are made will be made by Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, the 144,000, the governing body of the children of Israel. All we have to do is get down and serve the Lord. With that, just men behind the podium on Majum, which means to stand.
La Yasha Allah, which means to Israel. So Majum, which means to stand. Upanyaki Dum, which means to turn, face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. It's like it. Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwithka, Taba'ah, Retazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratuza, Kawor, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Kor, Yabwam, Wasalakanawa, Kwabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kwabawatinawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Barnasaya 1, a ball, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalaka, Wa Allah, Wa Tapar, Awalemyam, Aman. Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. For the kak, or the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baba Kasha, Nathanawa, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kol Machala, Wakol Marawa, Hakak, Latahor, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lahakim, Hamathim, Hakak, Al-Rakawath, Hatama Allah, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the water Aman. Pray for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Pray for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barak atah Yahweh, wa Yahushai, wam yaka Allah, wa alahayim, matazabia, alawap yahana, ha alawapyum, ha saranyam, ha kwadazayanyam, ha kayayam, wa kwathian. Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, the water Aman. Pray for the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Horim, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'arataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Rogolka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazorka, Al Yad, Yumyuka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Baya'ala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makol, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabuaka, Ma'aika, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all Damayah, Lakah, all Thakarash, all Tashakwat, all Kaya, Hana, Owayabyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Ya'ara Yamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarawa, Lakawa, Wanakidam, Magolia, Wala'ah, Yazakor, Sham, Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawaitizawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barya, Yakaratwa, Aholia, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak, Palashah, Ain, Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gam, Ashawar, Nalawa, Imum, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya, Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Lahum, Kamadian, Kasa Yasara, Kayabian, Banakaol, Kayashawan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shaitamwa, Nada, Yaba Mawa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakazazol, Manai, Call, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shaithamwa, Kagolgola, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Harayam, Khan, Dardatma, Basa Irika, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Punyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayaba'awa, Idea, Ide, Wayagaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, Al Yawan, Al, Call, Ha'arataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is drawn with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High Power in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, always, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Give a salute to the brothers watching online. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Brakathum, Yamatah. Salute to the sisters watching online. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Shamar al Thumb by Hashem Yahushai. This concludes the Isupk Indianapolis Sabbath service. Clap it up.